Hello, beautiful souls and fellow seekers of truth, knowledge, wisdom, and love. I am Adam, and today we have my beloved wife and twin flame cat, and we're going to be discussing what is going on regarding Hurricane Helene. And for all of you out there that have been affected, or may have been affected, or know someone that's been affected, many condolences. All right, so we know that Hurricane Helene touched down on the land September 26th around 11:10 p.m. and it was a Category 3 hurricane, and it was in Perry, Florida. That's why we have it here, Perry, Florida, as you can see. So we're going to talk about what went on between the 26th of September, the 27th, and the 28th. Also bringing into perspective the fact that the lunar eclipse was in Pisces, and it was dealing with the friendship circles, and this was literally September 17th, 9 days before this hurricane. So as I mentioned in the video prior, that really it's time to use your intuition, use your discernment, find out who your friends really are, and this time is the time to do it. Okay, so at 11:10 p.m. that's when the hurricane touched down. But at 9:18 p.m., the moon was sextile to Mercury. So in that sense, the emotional needs had peace and harmony with the communication. So the way that you were feeling, more than likely, communicating exactly what you're feeling in that sense, right? All right, and now we're going into Georgia. It hit on September 27th, so we're going to get to the transits of that as well. At 3:51 a.m., and this is Eastern Standard Time, at 3:51 a.m. the moon was sextile to the sun, so the personality was tied to the emotional needs. At 4:47 a.m. the moon was squaring off with Venus, so in that sense your emotional needs were in conflict with what you truly love and value. So all this stuff going on, right? To turmoil and destruction. And then at 11:04 p.m. the moon was in conjunct to Saturn, so emotional needs, discipline and structure, needing adjustment in that period. And then we're going to jump into the 27th to the 28th, where South Carolina and North Carolina were being affected. At 12:05 p.m. the moon was sextile to Jupiter, so emotional needs and peace and harmony with expansion and growth. So what was going on with your emotions, there was some kind of growth and learning experience going on. And then 11:36 the moon square Uranus, so emotional needs squaring with unconventional innovative ideas, and the fact that Uranus is also retrograde, some bit of rebellion in that sense, and that tension, conflict, right? So the lunar eclipse in Pisces bringing upon all this water, all these emotions, all this intuition ever since September 17th. And you can clearly see the effect that it's having on the collective. And then we just had the solar eclipse in Virgo yesterday, October 2nd, and that was with the regeneration. We can clearly see also that Pluto, during the time of the hurricane, when the hurricane touched down, is in the same position that the solar eclipse was in yesterday. So in this sense, Pluto in Sagittarius, a Pluto retrograde, so bringing things from the past up into the surface, bringing the truth out of everything, regenerational process. And then we have here its opposition to the moon. So in the moon is in Cancer, so it's the nurturing mother, and here it's the home ground. So there's a lot of things happening when it comes to your home ground. It's being brought up like a rototiller effect right now as we speak, you know. And also during that specific week, it was tension, transformation, and expansion. So whatever you're going through right now is a transformation, and there's some tension there, but it's going to bring expansion. Like, we need to see the bigger picture of what is happening, right? Like, you're finding out who your friends truly are, because when, you know, shit hits the fan like it has, you're finding out who's going to drop what they're doing to come and help whoever's in need, right? And we all know it's not the government, unfortunately. So let's get into this chart. And this chart is basically the birth of Hurricane Helene. I also want to state that 66 years ago, something similar happened. The same hurricane, same name, the same destruction. So look into that as well if you have to. All right, so we're just going to start over here in the first house. We have the rising sign is in Taurus and Jupiter's in Taurus. And in this sense, the persona is tied to the appearance. And the appearance is expansion. And when it comes to security and stability, and that's supposed to be also security and stability that overlays this whole chart right here. All right. Now we're moving into Mars. It's here in the second house. The second house is the house of possession. So this is something really important to hear, because in this sense, action, will, determination, communication, negotiation when it comes to the personal resources. That's right, I said personal resources. So something went on that's going to bring action, will, determination to negotiations, networking when it comes to personal resources. And it's also tied here to this as well, which is the house of shared resources. So what's coming up from beneath the surface that's tied to personal resources of the collective and also the shared resources of the collective, right? So that's something we need to look into pretty deep. And when we get to hear what Kat has to say, I'm sure she'll mention something about that as well. All right, moving over to the third house. The third house is about communication. It's about short travel. It's about networking, and it's about negotiations. And we have the moon here, also the part of fortune. The fact that the moon is in its natural placement of Cancer, so your emotions are tied to the nurturing when it comes to the home ground. So you want more than anything just to have the nourishment and nurturing of your own home ground experience. And then over here, part of fortune is in Cancer. It's in the third house also, and that's going to be with the relatives. So you really find out how your relatives are going to be when you don't have anything left and your relatives do. Are they going to welcome you into their home? You know, so in that sense. Now we're moving over here into the fourth house. The fourth house you're going to see is empty, but in this sense it's like displacement of home. And then over here, the fact that Leo is here, it would be to find an inspiration or someone that can bring you inspiration when you feel like all hope is lost, right? Now we're moving over here to the fifth house. The fifth house, we have quite a bit going on because we have the Sun and Mercury. They're both in Virgo, and they're both placed with the projection of self. So the personality is tying to the communication of being the intuitive nurse, right? Analyzing situations, really critical thinking when it comes to these situations, when it comes to the projection of self. And then over here, we have the Venus, what you love and value, and also in Virgo, and it's with sports and amusement. Interesting. What you love and value when it comes to intuition, analyzation, critical thinking, with sports and amusement. So some people might have found this to be entertaining, which is a very unfortunate thing. And I'm sure if you do your research, you'll know who those people are. Okay, now we go over here into the sixth house. The sixth house is about work, habits, making your contribution, health, healing, service, daily routines. We have Libra, Scorpio, and Ophiuchus. And you can see Ophiuchus is tied not only to the sixth house, but also the seventh house as well. So Libra's all about being fair, being the diplomat, being the artist, right? Libra. And then Scorpio, investigation into work, daily routine, like what's going on, do some investigation of that. And then we have Ophiuchus, the keeper of the esoteric wisdom. So there's esoteric wisdom when it comes to habits, also making the contribution, and there's esoteric wisdom when it comes to the one-to-one relationships. Like, do some research. I encourage you all to do some research, like find out what was going on before this happened, right? And then there's also investigations into marriages, and this could be marriages or merging of certain companies. So find that out as well. And then over here, Sagittarius is all about the truth, the meaning of things. And you can see Sagittarius is with partnerships, open enemies, and the shadow. And then it drives into the 8th house as well, with the partners, resources, and work, regeneration, occult involvement. Yes, see that meaning of it all when it comes to all of that. And then, of course, Pluto. Pluto's about transformation. It's about breaking down, just tearing it down, and then building it back up, finding the meaning and the truth behind it all. And it's an inward thing because the Pluto is retrograde, right? Now, moving over here into the 9th house. The 9th house is about mental expansion. It's about beliefs, religion, higher education, spirituality, finding the meaning and the structure behind it, because Capricorn is here, and Capricorn's about ambition, structure, discipline, perseverance, right? And the 9th house is also about foreign affairs as well. You can see there's something going on here. Structure, development when it comes to foreign affairs, right? You can't even make it up. Here it is. And now we move into the 10th house. The 10th house is about the career. It's about the public image. It's about the representation of everything. And it seems here the public image is, this midheaven, the height of the career. It's in Aquarius. Aquarius is the rebel. Aquarius is the one, the innovative thinker, the introspective, the psychic scientist. So what is going on when it comes to the public image? And then over here we have Saturn. Saturn is about the karmic lessons. Saturn is retrograde here too, so something is coming back that was once, so as I mentioned before, 66 years ago. Do the research and see what happened 66 years ago. Because Saturn is here, right here now, saying something needs to be looked at before you can move forward. And it's dealing with reputation. It's the reputation of it all. Now moving over here to Neptune, we find Neptune is actually in Pisces, which is its natural placement. Neptune is retrograde also, and the fact that Neptune is retrograde, being able to bring the dreams into reality. And this could be a very lucid, flowing thing as well. The fact that the lunar eclipse was in Pisces and now Neptune is in Pisces, so you put 2 and 2 together, you'll find out the sensitivity of it all, the intuition, seeing beyond the smoke in the mirror, seeing beyond the illusion, like what is really going on, right? And this is with the father archetype. So what is really going on? Why is the government not responding, right? Okay, now moving over here to the 11th house. The 11th house is about collective involvement, the we awareness, about goals. We have the North Node, it's the soul path, and in sense it's in Pisces as well. So it's all about using your intuition when it comes to the we awareness. So waking up to the truth, using your intuition above all else. The intuition never lies. The intuition is so strong. It's that gut feeling. You know something's going on. You know you need to move. You know you need to do something. Follow your intuition. It could save your life or the lives of others. Okay, moving here we have Chiron. Chiron is also in Pisces, and it's also retrograde. The fact that Chiron's retrograde, so there's the wounded healer going within, using your intuition, right? And this is goals, like goals not being met, and it really can bring some trauma when you're not able to meet these goals because of the things that are going on. I can tell you right now, it's best to go within and find that peace and find that awareness as well. So spend some time to go within. And then here we move into the 12th house. The 12th house is about seeking after new self, hidden strengths, self-sacrifice, completions, conscious eternal bliss. Where this is specifically, though, we have Uranus retrograde. So once again, the rebel when it comes to structure, stability, security. And where's the rebel being placed? The rebel is being placed with self-sacrifice, which will bring inner growth. So Uranus at this time is giving you the gifts and the abilities to understand what needs to be sacrificed, because maybe you're paying attention to material things and it's time to start paying attention to spiritual things, because the 12th house is all about the undoing of the ego, the dissolving of it, and it's also about the spirituality of things. You got to remember that we are all spirits having human experiences, right? So Uranus is here to remind us that you might think that you feel safe and secure, but in a drop of a hat, everything can be gone, because the Uranus is all about that, the disruptor in that sense. So, as you can see, Hurricane Helene was born as soon as it touched land here in Perry, Florida at, this is 11:10 p.m. and this is the way we do it. And if you have any questions, just comment down below. We'll be happy to answer it. And now I'm going to turn the time over to Kat. So here's Kat with the collective message when it comes to spirit.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much. That was definitely a very clarifying astrological reading, because I have been researching myself. I feel like many of us might be in a state of shock as to what's going on. Many theories going around about why it's happening, whether it's weather control or natural, the true intentions of why it may be happening. North Carolina, I'm learning especially, is a very rich area in terms of minerals and I think quartz. I'm hearing
Lithium.
Lithium.
Ancient land.
There's also, it's an ancient land. Someone even proposed the idea that at one time, when we were once all Pangea, that area, North Carolina, Tennessee, what have you, is at the center of Pangea, so it's one of the oldest areas. There's definitely going to be a lot of theories roaming around, some more true than others. But ultimately, we felt guided to do this reading to bring some clarity to you. If you have questions about what is really going on astrologically, and also I have cards in front of me. I pulled some cards looking at the 5 elements, but also the past, present, future, and super future, so we can all gain a bigger picture of what's going on. And our condolences, my condolences to all the family and friends and the people who have been affected. This is truly horrific. I would have never in a million years imagined something like this happening. If we live in a simulation, like many say, and this is the simulacrum repeating itself, to me, it's like the program's level, the simulation's level of repeating history. But I always want to try to see, not focus so much on the negative aspects, but where's the light at the end of the tunnel for all this? What are the lessons? And that's the beauty of astrology, is that it shows you the things that are happening from a higher perspective, but also the lessons that are occurring for everyone. collectively for the most part. So let me go ahead and dive into the cards and see what's going on here. So from the etheric level, the highest level possible, there is memories of love, there's a finding of balance, there's a trust and a thriving, and then there's the Lover's card. So I feel like this event is going to help transform people, to remember their balance, to remember who they really are, to remember their ability to trust each other and humanity and collectively. This is an event that not only affects that portion of the United States, but the whole world, really. The whole world is watching. And I feel like this event is going to activate a higher level of unconditional love for humanity. Now, moving into the mental sphere, people are going to uh, maybe become more spiritual, more religious. I got the Teach card, I got the Sage card, be devoted and committed, Destiny card, and the Star card. So this is going to also mentally activate people to a higher state of faith in their mind, a higher state of hope, rejuvenation, spirituality, mentally realizing that, this event, sometimes, let's just say, like, the universe, Great Spirit, allows certain things to happen because on the other side of it, it's going to bring a greater awakening, a greater lesson, a greater understanding for humanity and for the people. And so this is going to activate people mentally, to start thinking more spiritually and not so materially. The material realm, I mean, we are at this, according to the Hopi, we're at this crossroad right now where people have to choose spirituality or materialism. And I feel like this is an opportunity for us to say, you know what, we want to choose the highest path possible. To me, the highest path is the path of spirituality, and not focusing so much on the material aspects of life. There's nothing wrong with material things, but it's more about what is really important here for everyone. Okay, now moving into the emotional level of things, uh, we're being asked to see beyond the current situation. We're being asked to confront our shadows. We're being asked to ignite our passion from the heart. And we're also being asked we got the Six of Pentacles, so about charity, generosity, employment, community. So literally this event is activating people from the heart center to focus on what's really important: community, charity, generosity, helping each other, giving people something to do, to feel like they have a purpose. It's activating passion, a feeling of they need to help each other. They can't rely on the government. They can't rely on anything but besides each other. It's a form of interdependence and community, and they're being forced to, the confrontation card is the 1 + 8 = 9, endings, and ending to, the shadow aspects of the government is done a good job in separating people, from each other. You have your house, I have my house, you have your apartment, I have my apartment, and we're not really interacting or communicating. It's a separation that has happened. So we're being forced to end that so that we can activate the community and also communication with each other, the networking, the helping of each other, the helping hands. I mean, I think about Hurricane Maria, when that hit Puerto Rico, that made the people stronger. When Maui happened, that most likely made the people stronger as well. So in tragedy, the dark side of tragedy is tragedy, but also the light side is it awakens humanity to want to get down to the grindstone and help each other out. So it's something of the heart when it becomes too stagnant and still, it feels like it doesn't have a purpose, and it literally, this event just like activated at least that portion, that region, into something greater. Now, moving into the creativity sector, some people, of course, are experiencing heartache and loss, yet there is a, I've heard stories of people, who've lost their artwork, and like, with like not only the arts that they have, they have created, whether it's music studios or canvases or art, or even the historical aspect of the antiquity of the buildings and all that stuff. So there's a lot of like the creativity has been lost on so many levels, but yet this is I feel like a rebirth experience, because we got the blossom card. So there's going to be a new blossoming of creativity, and there's a releasing of the old. The autumn card, release the old and rest. So releasing the old energies to awaken the new energies of what's to come. And also the Hierophant, so releasing tradition, conformity, morality, ethics. There's good things to the Hierophant, the teacher and all that, but like questioning what is it that people are going to have to recreate. So really tuning into their heart and saying, okay, what do we really want to create? And I'm seeing visions of community boards, people coming together in buildings, having meetings and saying, okay, we need to rebuild and restructure. How do we want to do these things? There's going to be huge conversation with that. And unfortunately, I have seen people find research on their intent, the powers that be intent to create a smart city, and I think especially in Asheville. So there's going to be a huge conversation with, do we really want a smart city here? Things like that. Okay, so now from the Earth perspective, Air Guardian says shift your perception, foundations and achievements, opportunity beckons, and the Death card. So ending of a cycle, new beginnings, a change, and a letting go. So literally the Earth, the connection to the Earth there is going through a huge, let's just say Gaia is going through a huge shift in herself in that regard, from the ending of a cycle to a new beginning of a new cycle.
And it's regenerative, as we mentioned here. The fact that the 8th house is all about the death, rebirth cycle, the transformation, and then Pluto is also, the ruler of that 8th house, the transformation, and then the meaning of it all, because it's in Sagittarius.
Exactly. So now we're going to look at the past, present, and future. So the past, the recent past, is hope, shine, shaman, trust in the higher forces, and the Queen of Swords, honest, protective, witty, intelligent. So I'm getting visions right now of the old energies from our ancient times, perhaps during the times of fighting over the land, the conquistadors, the old energies, the warriors of old time being cleansed from the land as well. I feel like there's a cleansing, which is allowing the new energies to come through in it during this event. So that's kind of like the foundational, is the cleansing of the old and allowing the new to come in. Whether this is natural or not, the Great Spirit allows things to happen to allow the cycles to continue that need to happen. Now, moving into the present, people are feeling like, am I winning or am I losing? They feel like the changes, number 5, is forcing them to go through a massive change, to question their whole life cycle, their personal life cycle. And then we got the temptation card. So some people need to be careful about falling into negativity, falling into addiction because of this event. They have to make sure that the Eagle card is saying see things from a higher perspective. Some people might get stuck in the negativity of the events in this current moment, but it's encouraged for them to have the Eagle medicine, which is to see it from a higher perspective. And we have the High Priestess card, which is intuition, the subconscious mind, the inner voice, the third eye. So there goes that. See from a higher perspective, see what is really going on, question everything that's going on. Like Adam mentioned earlier, do your research, but don't get stuck in the negativity of what's going on. See how you can be part of the solution. That's what I'm hearing right now. Now, moving into the near future, Father Sky, trust in the unknown, dreams coming true, trapped in fear, and the Emperor, fatherhood, authority, structure, and control. So some people might be feeling like they have to, they're trapped in that fear cycle, but it's important to visualize. And if you're personally going through this experience, this is a very strong message for you, is to visualize what you do want. Visualize what you want, but also trust in that universe energy, the energy of love, the energy of feeling that you are supported, you are loved, and that you don't need to stay trapped in fear of what may come. Because from a bigger perspective, yes, the earth is going to go through many changes. This is not the only thing that's about to happen or just happened. There are other things that are going to happen. So this is the time to be as strong as you can. And Adam will definitely go into the astrology in future videos with, you know, for the earth stuff that we've been talking about here. But yeah, it's so important to let go of. Also, the surrender card is coming through. Surrender to the what is meant to happen. And, you know, I'm hearing from Spirit right now saying, letting go of fear of death. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Like, it's almost impossible to stop that. So the key is to enjoy your life as humanly possible, and to live your manifestations and your dreams as humanly possible. And when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. There is no such thing as death. Death is merely the transition to the next world. So your soul will continue to live. When we drop the meat suit, they call it, when we drop this body, we literally are shifting our energy from this particular body into a new body. So there is nothing to fear. Okay. I feel like someone's needed to hear that. And now moving into the super future. So what is beyond this? What's the bigger picture here? Take note. The moon card is saying take note of the intuitive messages. Really connect with the moon. Really connect with your inner psychic abilities and your sixth sense. And I can't stress that enough. Really tune in. Rebuild. The rebuild card is literally saying that we are rebuilding our light bodies. We are receiving those new DNA codes from the sun and the central sun. We are being helped by our ancestors and our spirit guides. The angel of rebuilding herself. We are all going through a metamorphosis on the planet together. So you are not alone. The super future is saying working on the base chakra. So this is, to me, a sign that we are needing to get grounded, get off the technologies and get grounded. I mean, it's okay to use your computer or cell phone here and there, but for those of you who, and I know I'm guilty of it too, but we need to get connected to the earth. The earth is calling us home to connect with her and connect with the Father Sky as well. So connecting with the messages from the astrology and the planets and everything. This is what the ancients did on the daily. They knew all this stuff all the time. And somehow we have become so disconnected from that because of the way, our technological industrial lifestyle is at this point. So we're being called to basically get in alignment with the energies of the earth again. Take your shoes off, walk on the ground, get grounded, feel the electromagnetic energies that are healing your body from the earth, because she's here for you. She grows your plants, she grows your food, she helps you get grounded, she helps you feel good, she helps you get healthy. It's time for all of us to really connect with the earth all the time as much as possible. Now, the Seven of Swords came up for the super futures. So this is telling me this says deceit, theft, scammer, or cheating. So I feel like what this is saying is just to be wary, especially those in that region, is to be wary of people who want to or companies. That's a good point. Who are going to want to steal from the land or steal from the communities of that land. But also the other one is what happens when people, when something happens in an area and people start running into people's houses and taking from them.
Looters.
Looters, yes, that's the word. Thank you. So looting may be a problem in the future within these communities. So really take note of that. This is why we have our Second Amendment. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I need to pull one more bonus card from the ancestors. Let me see here. One last message here. Stay rooted and grounded. Wow, you can't make that up. Earth Guardian. So this is the overall message for all of this here, guys, is to stay rooted and grounded. This is going to be your lifesaver here, is to stay rooted and grounded in your intuition on the earth. If you are meant to be here for the new earth energies that are coming through, I feel like this is the most important thing, is to stay rooted and grounded, because between the solar flares and the transformation on the planet, listen, the earth is literally responding to the sun right now. So when the sun pulses, the earth will literally feel that and respond to it, and we're living on the earth. So when you're connected to the earth and you're grounded, the earth will let you know, hey, you need to run to that mountain over there, or you need to go to safety over there. That's why the deer, they run away from the lower lying areas and they go into the mountains when they know something a week in advance. They know things before it happens. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for hearing our message. We hope this helped bring you the clarity and the comfort that you may need at this time. I know that we all need this information, and I felt like we needed to do this for sure, because it's like, what the heck is going on, right? But yeah, does Adam have anything else to say?
Thank you all for watching, and look forward to getting the Monday's weekly messages,
Yes.
because every one of the 13 signs from Aries all the way to Pisces, including Ophiuchus, you get your weekly messages. And then also all of the transits will be on our website, and you'll find that in the description below.
Absolutely. And pretty soon we'll be doing the timeless readings. It's been a lot going on in our lives, so thank you for your patience. Our website is up and running, but it's also kind of not perfect yet. So we're working on that too. But thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We love you. And feel free to comment below anything that you would like to comment. Let us know how you're doing, if you're in the area, if you're being affected. You know, we send you so much of our love. You have no idea. We love you guys so
Share it with
much.
the ones that might be.
And yeah, feel free to share this message to anyone who will need to hear this message. And we thank you all so much. We love you. Namaste and blessings.